Hello everyone, this is Darshan Maharaja welcoming you to the 18th episode of the Elevator Chat series of our Canadian journey. I am truly grateful for all the warm reception that this series has received from all of you. I will continue to try my best to bring to you discussions on a variety of issues that matter to you as Canadians. As we saw on Wednesday during Conservative Party leader Pierre Poilievre's press conference in Prince Edward Island, our vaunted mainstream media is more focused on things. I won't call them issues because they aren't. They focus on these things with the aim of either tripping up Mr. Poilievre or harp on his minor slip-ups. But that's a different topic altogether. Like so many other independents, my main thrust is always on the policies and their likely implications or consequences. Speaking of which, a few days ago, Pierre Poilievre put out a video showing how he would partly address the housing crisis in Canada, with emphasis on partly, by tying federal funding for infrastructure projects with municipalities agreeing to approve high-density residential construction around transit stations. The most common response that I saw to this on Twitter, which, let me admit, isn't real life, but still, was that with this proposal, he is pushing the globalist agenda of 15-minute cities. This got me thinking about whether this would apply to my city of Brampton, Ontario. Before I begin to narrate my views on that, let me say upfront that anecdotes or instances are not data. So whatever I say here has to be taken with a pinch of salt. But the truth is that there had been a long-standing demand for all-day, two-way GO train service between Brampton and Toronto. In technical lingo, the activity rate, meaning the number of the city's residents employed within the same city, in Brampton is pretty low. Depending on whom you ask, this number for Brampton varies between 33% and 37%. Many Bramptonians work in downtown Toronto and in the other surrounding cities, but let's talk about Toronto in the context of the GO train connection. For them, this GO train service is crucial. In addition, there are a lot of post-secondary students who benefit from this economical and convenient option for their commute. Plus, nowadays, a lot of international students, I'm making air quotes around the word students. In reality, so many of them are temporary foreign workers in disguise. They also use the GO train to go downtown Toronto and work at food delivery gigs. They take their e-bikes along with them on the train. And of course, the same crowd comes back in the evening on the GO train. The thing is, the GO station in downtown Brampton is surrounded mostly by detached homes. A couple of apartment or condo buildings have come up there in recent years to the southwest of the station. And there is an older building of similar nature to the north. All of these three are within 5 minutes walking distance from the station, or maybe less. And here is the main point. The train ride from Brampton to Toronto is about 45 minutes. The next GO station is also in Brampton, and it would be fair to call that location a housing desert. On the east, west, and south sides of the station, there is absolutely zero housing. To the north, there is a sea of detached homes for roughly 2 kilometers, going north from Steeles Avenue to Queen Street. The train ride from this station to downtown Toronto is about 40 minutes, i.e. just 5 minutes shorter than from downtown Brampton. And there is a huge parking lot, so people drive over there and then park their car for the day and then make their train journey to Toronto. So the crucial question is this. Would building high-density housing around these two stations create the much-feared 15-minute city? Of course not. That housing would simply have the following effects. A. increase the availability of housing for Bramptonians, many of whom are at or near the lowest rung of the earnings ladder, or not earning at all in the case of domestic post-secondary students. B. The increased availability would go at least somewhere towards reducing the cost of housing. C. Reduce traffic on the roads, particularly on Highway 401, which D. Reduces CO2 emission, and E. Greater job opportunities or labor mobility for Bramptonians. I fail to see what is not to like or what is to fear about Pierre Poilievre's idea here. Opposing the construction of high-density housing was hitherto a preserve of NIMBYs. Their reasons were mostly untenable, such as neighborhood character and the like. Now, people who would normally be in direct opposition to the NIMBYs on any number of political or policy issues are also as strongly opposed to the idea of high-density housing as the NIMBYs. Just like war, politics also makes strange bedfellows. Does this example of Brampton apply to many other places? I think it does when a major city is surrounded by sizable suburbs. A lot of movement happens within the urban agglomeration, to borrow a term from Indian tax laws, and that movement is in a large urban agglomeration will, by definition, take substantially longer than 15 minutes. That is my opinion. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Until we meet again in the next episode, goodbye and take care.